Like our Canada Elite team, we played Brownie.
How did that go?
Like we messed them up bad. They made us the first game like thinking they're gonna like slap up Canada.
Versus TV 24, once again we're live and we're here at Quench, the All Canadian Games, and we're featuring one of the elite athletes, Canadian athletes today. I think he poured more than 18 points today. Well-rounded player. Today at Versus TV 24, we're featuring Efeosa Oliogu. Check it out. We have the one and only Efeosa, and we have his brother Cosign. Welcome to Versus TV 24. It's been long and
appreciate you.
Overdue.
Of course.
Before we get into depth in this interview, I want to say, I noticed on your chain, Cosign.
Mm-hmm.
That's obviously your mother,
Yeah.
who is not with us today. So on behalf of Versus TV 24, I just want to say that knowing or getting to know Efeosa, I knew your mom was very caring and loving of her sons. I know I just can't imagine losing a loved one like that. So, our heart goes out to you. I seen on Efeosa's post that he calls her twin, right? And I really admire that, because I'm thinking along Efeosa's journey, his basketball journey, and building up his legacy, that's also going to build and contribute to her legacy.
Exactly.
Right? So, once again, on behalf of the team, we thank you, Mom, who's obviously in heaven.
Thank you.
And she's very proud of you, by the way.
She is extremely proud of you. And just to build on top of that, we are celebrating a special.
Yeah, more life. Big 19.
More life.
Big 19.
Yes. So we just want to say, Mom, thank you for birthing this young, up-and-coming superstar.
And blessing us with an amazing baller.
Amazing baller. And not only that, an amazing rapper.
Yeah.
Right?
You already know.
So,
Dream team.
Man's out here drippy, like.
Sweat. And mom on the show.
Of course, you gotta look the part.
For sure.
So now that we got that out of the way, let's get to the nitty-gritty. Actually, we have two guests. So can you both tell us about where you're born, your upbringing, what got you into basketball, what got you into rapping?
And I'm sure you played basketball. You played basketball early.
Well, he has the height.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Okay, I wasn't born here actually. I was born in Chicago. I was raised here from very young. We grew up in Markham, borderline Scarborough area.
Okay.
My journey of basketball, I don't know. It really, I feel like I have I have 4 siblings, and all of us liked sports, and I feel like my older sister, she was going down the path of playing basketball as well, including myself. But that dream, it set sail, and so when he came in the picture, and we seen it from young, we used to go to the ball court in our area, and he used to play with all of his older brothers, friends and stuff like that. So we knew he had the talent for the basketball. We knew he had it from a young time, from when he was young. But me with the music, I feel like 2020 came around, and I feel like that was a hard time for everybody. So I think everyone had a reality check, see what they want to do and stuff like that. So, I love music. I always love music. I always say I love music. So I just decided one day, start rapping, see how it goes, and I've been rapping ever since.
What's the age difference between you two? 4 years.
4 years, yeah. I just turned 22. I have a late birthday, but he just turned 19.
Okay, because you said you came up from Chicago and so forth. So it's when you came to...
We always lived in Canada. It was just my mom had me and my 2 other sisters in America.
And then
He was the last one.
Okay.
Yeah, he was the last one. Yeah.
So yeah, Efeosa, how's it growing up in Markham?
Honestly, I'll say very peaceful. Like I feel like whatever,
peaceful.
yeah, like whatever I needed to do, I could get done. Like I would go to school, I could play basketball there. I can go to the park, not worry about any type of crime or anything like that. Just play basketball and do those type of things. So I feel like, like our parents like definitely raised us in like a good like environment where we can like grow and we have opportunities and those type of things.
Did you two have any
Battles?
battles on the court, or
Sibling
like what got you
Yeah.
into basketball? Was it your brother?
Yeah, I'll definitely
your
say all
sisters?
my siblings. Like they all kind of play sports. Like I have a sister that's 1 year older than me. She was playing everything. Like she did track, volleyball, and then after like he played basketball. My other sister played basketball. We have another older brother. He played basketball. So yeah, I feel like it was just a athletic family.
So when did you know that you could beat all of them? And when did you know that he's nice? Let me. Did you take that last L and step
It's
back,
not
or
even like a last L. It's one of those where, from like the minute he touched, like I was in grade 8, he was in grade 4. We were on the same basketball team. That's how good he was. That's how good he was. Like that's how good
Did
he
you
was.
feel some type of way?
No, like you would think maybe people think, oh yeah, like oh, younger bro's doing this. Like no, I'm happy, I'm ecstatic. Like it brings me joy to see that he's excelling what he's doing, and it's like I'm even proud. I'm proud of my own part. Say I can say this is my little brother. He's been like doing it. So like I'll tell you I was in grade 8, he was grade 4. He was 6th man off the bench, maybe sometimes starting. And he's been good.
I appreciate it. That's crazy.
He's been
That's mad.
the best. He's been the best from as long as I can remember.
Yeah. So you just handed over the torch a little bit. It's like,
Yeah, in fact, he just took it. I didn't even hand it over. He just took it. Like that's how good he was. He was good. He was good.
And when did you know that you could outplay them?
Nah, definitely like a long time ago.
No, it was over once he got the growth sprout.
I feel like even before the
he's capping.
No, because
He's short, so he was shorter, so it's harder to beat. But even, obviously short guards can still score on the bigger opponent, but he was more short, so I feel like, physically he was not at a level, but skill-wise, just like raw talent, yeah.
Nice.
How I personally got to know Efeosa.
Pan Am Games.
Was it the Pan Am? No, it wasn't Pan
It was
Am.
definitely the Pan Am Games.
No,
We came up there to see the tournament, and funny enough, I was watching Jordan Charles, and I met someone in the stands, and she's like, Jordan Charles is not who you keep your eye on.
Oh, it's
I'm
Efeosa.
like, who's Efeosa? And she's like, oh, you don't even know. He's like the #1 player in Canada. He's amazing, blah, 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 blah. So I started watching him on the court. I was like,
Right.
This kid actually has game. And then your presentation was very humble. And I'm like, there's something up with this kid.
Humble
so obviously,
beast.
my hands get a
Humble
little bit
beast,
itchy.
man. I'm telling you.
I went and creeped him on Instagram. And then the first post that I saw was a tribute to your mom. And he said, like, I got to do it for you and prove it to you. Like, I got to do this big one for you. And, like, ever since I started watching his highlights, I was like, this kid's not normal.
Yeah,
he's getting better.
Literally not normal for the amount of fame that you receive and the amount of glory that you get.
Right. And I'm actually gonna get into that. Yeah.
Like,
crazy.
But
you're just, I don't even know what to say. Like,
now
your
me-
God-given talent, and
mhm.
your mom is going to, like, your family should just be very proud of you.
Very
to be
proud.
of you, because you sold me after the first time I saw you on the court and had a conversation with someone that was actually your #1 fan, and they weren't lying. Like, you do,
That was nice. That was nice, Makaj.
Dope.
We're
trying to get Makaj in front of camera.
It's okay.
But-
It's okay, because you already know.
LJ, me personally, it was the Jane and Finch Classic. So I remember on a Thursday, Makaj is at work, and I just so happened to be in the area. So I said, you know what, I'll just stop by the Hoop Dome. Hoop Dome, right? Yeah, Hoop Dome. I get in there, and there's a team, Cam Wilder.
Rodney.
RWA.
Right. I don't know nothing about all this and whatnot. As I'm entering, I'm like, whoa, like, this is big and whatnot. And then, I'm going to get to that. I link Big Phil, who was security. So
Phil.
Big Phil gave me like pretty much VIP.
Right.
Right? So I think Cam Wilder's team comes on the court.
Hold on. I'm not cutting you. Shouts out to Big Phil because you
Shouts out to Big Phil.
You know what I mean? Talks a lot of gibberish. We love you, dog.
So their team comes on. I don't know nothing about Efeosa, right? So the team is stacked. I see the guy that they call Cam. I see a white boy called Nelson or Nielsen or whatever. I see K Showtime, right? And then I see the team. And then Big Phil has me pretty much by their bench.
Yeah.
So then I call Makaj. Sort of like bragging, like, you know? So I'm doing like a FaceTime, right? And he's in the frame. And she's like, that's Efeosa.
Yeah.
That's Efeosa.
Okay.
And I'm like, ooh, like, why? You know what I'm saying? So I peeped I peeped the game. He was active, obviously, right, doing his thing. And it was so much that I said, okay, I have to come here the Friday, right? That was just a walkthrough, but now I really have to peep who she's hyping up about and so forth. Now, past that, there's been obviously other tournaments and this and that I would see him in passing. One that stuck to mind is in Bill Crothers in Markham. And like she just alluded to, with the popularity that he has, you know what, he could have that attitude like I'm too good
arrogance.
for you. Right, that arrogance, correct. But I saw him from a distance and I'm like kind of like, yo man, come over. And no ego, no nothing. He came over, I introduced myself, told him what I do. I think at that time we were in the midst of doing Truss's interview and whatnot. So I let him know about that because they play on the same team. Right. So and Truss could co-sign for us and whatnot. And like she said, just humble. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, if I had like 20, 30,000 followers on Instagram, I would.
You know what I mean? For real though.
Right?
That's good, man.
That's pretty much my.
That shows that he was raised right. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
and once again, and you know, to me it alludes to the mom and how.
Yeah, and sometimes being a younger sibling, you kind of have like a little arrogance because you have your older siblings protecting you. You know what I mean? So you kind of walk through like, yeah, I'm good. You know what I'm saying?
Even in my family, that was actually never the case. Because I feel like
He just grow fast, like we all grow fast.
no, but even like just like
though.
even with that too, like I just feel like I was always kept humble. Like, you know, like even like I'll go outside, you know, I'll have like a great game. I'll come home and my sister's like, yo, like take out the garbage.
Yeah,
and, like,
we roast them. We
or
keep
like,
them
you know, do this, do that. Or like, you know, don't be, not obviously don't be happy, but like, you know, do this, do that. So like, I feel like, you know, I don't know.
He knows what it means to like the responsibility of it. Like, you know, he's like
balance.
there's balance. There's balance. Yeah, he's a
That's
responsible kid.
definitely, that's definitely good, man.
All right.
That's definitely
Co-sign.
Yes, sir.
We wish you well on your rap journey.
Appreciate you coming
Thank
through.
you for having us.
You know what I mean?
Having me, you know. So
For sure,
Forget
man.
the name, where can we find
Co-
Where can we find you? Yeah.
You can get me on Instagram, cosign COSIGNN. So 2 N's, don't forget that. And yeah, you can get me on all platforms.
What's your TikTok?
Cosign official.
Okay.
Snapchat?
OCT CEDO, so CEDO.
All right.
We're gonna look out for some hot tracks this summer.
Most definitely.
I'm dropping
Before
something
you
soon.
go, do you have any words for your brother that you want to give to?
Holy, if I
It's his birthday.
It's his birthday, yo. Honestly,
Canadian.
I remember we're just kids. Like I remember we're just kids, and like now he's all grown up, and like it's like, you know, he's even old enough to drink alcohol, but he don't be drinking. He don't be drinking. He's like, he's very like, you know, he's well disciplined. Yeah, that's what he's disciplined. So you know, he doesn't go at the world. He does what he wants to do, what he feels right. So yeah, just keep doing what you're doing. You know, you're going to make it far. Like don't like just like, you know, one step at a time, and like don't like, you know, don't let the pressure, like, you know, pressure make diamonds. You know, so don't let it mess with you. So yeah, that's
How about we do like an initiation and
Yeah, yeah.
Mess up the hairdo here. Mess up the Chris.
Like this.
He is, you know.
Appreciate you, man.
But what's it called? But what? Yeah, one last thing I would say. So what? But do you guys think we look exactly alike though? For real?
Yeah.
All right, comment
for real,
on
for
the
real.
page and tell, because he posted his brother online,
Crazy.
and then everyone thought it was him.
my birthday,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? And they're talking about who's cuter and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So
We're fake twins, but you know.
Oh
it.
man,
Alright.
thanks,
all right,
Coach.
done know it,
All
brother.
right.
You stand up,
No problem.
hail you properly. You know what I mean?
You already know.
Appreciate having me.
Stay safe, broski. More life. Done.
Okay, so this part of the segment, what we do is we're gonna show you a clip.
Yeah.
Chances are you'll definitely know the player. This particular clip I chose because to me it emulates what I've seen you do.
Okay.
All right, so
Is
you're
it
gonna.
Vince Carter?
I can't.
Okay.
I can't
You
reveal
gotta
that.
watch it.
I can't reveal that. You gotta watch it.
Break it down.
And you have to give us a breakdown of what you see. And yeah, you just
Okay.
tap play. There we go.
Ewing remaining, and the backcourt with Grant.
There's some interesting quality.
You know what I'm saying?
What do you see there?
Break it down from the top.
So he knows it was a little fast break. Michael Jordan caught it in the corner. He faked like he was gonna do a handoff, and he went back baseline and dunked on someone for and one.
I like that. I like how you just broke that down like
Yeah.
simple because it's like a routine for him,
Right.
right? Like that's nothing for him basically. What that stands as probably one of my top 10 dunks.
Plays. Yeah.
Plays.
Yeah.
Not even so much the dunk, but how he
Yeah.
got there.
Yeah.
Like he dismantled the double team. Right?
Like Starks thought he was going back up.
Yeah.
Spun back
And
baseline.
spun back and then caught Ewing,
Yeah.
which is an ego problem for big men.
Yeah.
And once again, there's a clip I think in your Instagram that says dunk of the year. Dunk of the year.
Okay.
I just showed it to you
Yeah, I
off,
think it's
off,
dunk of the
off
year.
camera.
Yeah.
And he just bodied a 7-footer, right? So
Nasty.
Ewing being
Yeah, 7-footer.
yeah,
Yeah.
and him being Jordan's height, 6'6",
Yeah, 6'6".
That's why I chose that one.
All
And
right.
for me to compare him to a Jordan,
Hey.
I don't know.
So the funny thing is, he sent that to me. Right? So I was just like, okay. And then he sent me a clip of you. So I'm looking at the clip. I'm like, this guy looks like this person right here. Like how he's moving. You know what I mean? You could shoot better than him, obviously. I just seen you turn it on. We'll speak about that after. But press play. Talk about this clip.
20,000 Heat fans, none of them using their seat right now.
No timeouts left, so they got to go.
LeBron with 10. Guarded by Daycon Jones with 8. With 7. With 5. On the drive. Runs it
Billy
in.
Ball.
And the Heat lead by
That's what good.
with 3 seconds to play.
So what do you see? Break it down. How you see it. Have you ever been in that position?
I definitely have been in that type of position. It was just a inbound play. It was just like more just like a screen. Or was it a screen? I don't remember. Yeah, no, he just took him one-on-one.
Yeah.
Yeah, just broke him down. And then, scored with the left hand.
Yeah, 'cause-
Miami Heat LeBron.
Yeah, Heat LeBron. Because when I seen you, I was like, I seen you attack the rim. I was like, okay, kind of looks like Brown over there. You know what I mean?
Excuse me, who?
LeBron James.
Oh,
Why? Because he said Brown.
I thought we were talking
This is the ongoing argument. What do you think? I don't even want to bring this up, man.
What do I think of Bronny?
Yeah.
I think he's actually he's really good. I just feel like he has a lot of pressure on him, so I feel like, and I also feel like he went a little too early.
facts.
I feel like he has to take more time with it. I feel like he was definitely rushed into it. But I feel like in the next maybe like year or two, like he's gonna be really good.
Right.
Like he's gonna be one of those players on the team.
Because
So who would you put your money on, Bryce or Bronny?
I think I'll put it on Brownie personally.
On Brownie?
I think Brownie has more like better work ethic. I feel like I don't know, like I haven't seen too much of Bryce though.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
But
fair.
like
That's
Brownie,
fair, yeah.
like he kind of has. I mean, I guess Bryce is taller, but I feel like Brownie, like he has the shape. Like I feel like he has the physicality to do it. So no, in the G League, he's scoring like 20-something points.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
it just takes time, I
Well, look
guess.
how long it did take him to get to that, right?
Yeah, everything takes time.
Yeah, but Makash, he's cooking it in the G League. I think that's the problem that I have because in the G League, he's showing,
Spurts of greatness.
well, yeah, he's showing spurts of greatness and what, I don't know, what he really is, type of thing, on that level.
Right.
But then you bring him in the NBA, and I'm seeing, you know.
But those are the 400 best players in the world. We got to look at it that way too.
As I said in the
And
last,
he came
in the last interview, he ranked so high in his draft, like what, 55?
He was LeBron's son.
That says it all. You know what? Speaking of competition,
Tomorrow's game, women's basketball. Everyone watches women's sports.
oh, do you want to speak about that? Women's basketball. Who do you have for women's? Who's in the final right
Are
now?
you going
I'm
to
not-
South Carolina?
I'm not gonna lie, just in general, like I don't watch too much basketball. I know that's kind of like, you know, other than film. Like
I get it.
I don't
Right, I
really
get
watch
that, yeah,
like I
right.
don't watch the NBA. I don't really watch much of college basketball either.
Why is that?
I feel like I'm doing basketball all the time. Sometimes I just
Yeah,
need like a little
that's-
break.
Yeah, right.
Like,
I
you
get
know,
that.
My schedule on a regular day is, you know, go work out in the morning, do like a lift and then a shoot, and then after later in the day do the exact same thing, and I repeat that every day. So it's like I'm doing basketball like constantly all the time, and then like yeah, you watch film as well, but
You don't
that's
want
it,
to get
you know?
mentally fatigued.
Like
of it.
sometimes I just like, you know, maybe I want to watch some like video games or you know binge watch a show or something. So
I know.
Basically,
I totally get that.
yeah.
Yeah.
You relax,
Yeah.
decompress.
Who would you name your top competitor right now
In Canada?
in Canada? Like when you actually have to prepare for that one
Yeah.
or two.
Talking about
individuals.
watching film. Who,
It could even be a teammate during practice, but more so when you're going against an opponent.
I feel like in general I kind of just prepare for any game I play. I feel like I have the same mentality every game I go into.
So there's not like one player.
Like I don't really target people. It's more just like I do target teams though. Like oh okay, this is the team I want to beat. Yeah.
okay.
And do you go by stats?
No, like winning the game.
Okay,
That's-
okay.
I like winning.
So more so the team's record.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I want to have a better record. I want to be the winning team.
So with that being said, if you're playing, is your style of preparation, does it differ between if a team is 21-2 versus 14-13?
Like record, like obviously records matter, but at the same time, like you know, obviously you even see in March Madness, like you know, some really low teams beat really high teams.
Right.
So I feel like at the end of the day, like there's teams like you know, I want to be, but at the end of the day, like you can just prepare for it.
So you wouldn't take that. So basically, you wouldn't take that 14-13
any
team
different,
for granted,
No.
right? Because there are upsets.
Yeah, it has to be the same mentality all the time.
But are there any players that stick out in your mind? Not in terms of competition, but in terms of skill. Does anybody?
Like who's your top 5?
In your dream.
Yeah, in your class.
In your
Who's your
Well,
top
I'll
5?
see, like I feel like you guys saw it here today, like Tristan Beckford.
Baby like nigga. Run out the trap with this stick, they like, hold on. I got this stick in the Montella coat on. Try your that partner, I bet he gon' photo.
Malik, Giuseppe Kissing.
No, second chance offensive opportunities, defending hard, running the floor. So when you combine that type of motor with his type of talent and size, they're really hopeful about this kid's future here at Port Erie.
Spencer Aarons.
If you want a UK with a had an AK-47 with 100 rounds. Red carpet on my track and Air Max. They wanna play with a London stone. We ain't got
Miles Sadler. Jordan, Charles.
The critical count, that's just the way that it is. Tell me, why would I listen to you on this shit when you never could do what I did?
Like, there's a whole bunch of them that are really good, so.
So about today, what was like, how did you feel about being selected top 20 kids? And what was your like game plan when you?
So, okay, answer that question.
I'll just say, like, I guess it's always, like, not I guess, but it's always, like, a honor to be selected for things like this. Like, it just shows, like, it gives you, like, kind of, like, recognition. Like, you know, it's kind of like a reward.
So, from that question, did you know that, okay, like, I'm going to be selected? Did you expect it?
I did expect it, yes.
Okay. So it was no surprise.
Right.
I did expect
love
it.
that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
No, but like.
I mean, no, because LJ.
You're the guy.
No, when you go around, they're labeling him as the number one player in Canada.
Exactly.
Like when I talk about him, I say he's the number one player in Canada. Like that's.
No, shoot. I seen him take off down the stretch of the game, take off that 1 foot. I was like, jeez.
Yo, listen, if he had dunked that, I would have ran on the court.
I think we have the film. I see
we're
him
gonna
take off.
Like that was a surprise.
Yeah, it looked like because you guys were down a little bit.
Yeah.
So it looked like you just like, okay, let me, you know what I mean? Let me gather some buckets and see if we could pull this off.
But it looked like he
and
flew
yeah,
from the
like
free
free throw.
line,
Yeah,
like
it looked
something.
crazy.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, man, them dunks that you be putting down, like.
Them youths kept praying the car like I ain't left guys on CPR. G17 is wife is live. You stupid fuck. I was doing when I high road, leave man wet like Putin Lido. But when I was young, what showed me love?
Because you're a highlight reel, is there any past or current dunkers that come to mind, or that you emulate, or you practice their dunks? I know.
I would say maybe Dominique Wilkins. Like, I feel like he does, like, that cradle dunk. I feel like that's, like, my go-to dunk.
That's my favorite player.
Yeah.
Cradle
And for a young guy to say Dominique.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Do you rate Sean
doing your
Kemp?
homework.
I haven't seen too much of Sean Kemp. He is bouncy, though. I've seen, like, clips of him dunking on people. I haven't seen, like, any moves or anything like that. But, like, I know Dominique, like, he was doing, like, those type of dunks.
Yeah.
Like, even Michael Jordan, like, the cradles. Like, I feel like that's my favorite dunk to do, so.
The real question is, when did you really start going off?
Yeah.
When did I first start dunking?
Like when did you just start going off?
Like you jump out of the gym, straight up.
Well, I feel like I've been dunking since grade 7. Grade 7. And then after, like, I feel like I didn't get any type of, like, people still knew who I was, but, like, in, like, North America, like, I feel like I didn't get any type of, traction until we played, like, our Canada Elite team, we played Brownie.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
How did that go?
We beat, like, because, like, their whole idea was, back in the day, they had this Blue Chips team that was, like, the best team ever. Like, you know, everyone wanted to beat them, but, like, no one could ever beat them. But then they did this thing where, like, because, like, now they're all older. So they're like, okay, like, let's bring the team back together for a tournament. Right. Like, so they were running the tournament down there, and they made us the first game, like, thinking they're going to, like, slap up Canada. And then, like, we went to, like, Vashon. Like, our whole team, like, we messed them up bad.
How was that experience?
I would say it was good. Like, it was good. That's a good spot. Like, because I feel like after that, that's kind of, like, where I took off a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because they're just like, oh, who's this kid, like, 2-3 years younger, playing up against Briny and doing this, and that. So I feel like, yeah.
So when did the game start getting? Because looking at you play, it seems like the game has slowed down a bit for you. Like you're picking things apart. You're waiting for your time. You see the gaps. You know what I mean? When did that start happening?
I guess just as much like as I'm getting older, I guess I understand the game more and like I understand certain things. I feel like when I was younger, you know, it's just a whole bunch of running. Oh, I want to run, dunk, or you know, do this, do that. But like, I guess even like pace is very important in basketball as well. So I guess just taking time in certain things and like knowing when to turn it on and turn it off. So
nice. Is there any flaws in your game?
Yeah,
Is there any,
100%.
What do you think you have to improve on?
I feel like I have to improve on everything.
Yeah.
Like playmaking, shooting, I guess like facilitating, like all of that. I feel like, you know, you can never be perfect. So there's a whole bunch of things I need to work on.
So now that you're going into university, and you're about to play some real American ball. What type of game do you think you need to bring to at least fit in with these guys? Because let's be real, the Americans train completely different than the Canadians.
Yeah,
like
sure.
they eat, sleep, and live this sport.
Yeah.
We do too, but it's a different type of oats that they have in their, porridge in the morning time. So what do you think that you need to bring?
I guess just bring the mentality I always have, but as well as, I feel like how I'm gonna like do what I have to do, just do those like extra things. So like whether it's like, getting extra rebounds or, getting steals, diving on the ground, getting deflections, like those type of things. I feel like those are things that like, people have to, I guess, focus on more and do more because people are always worried about like scoring and doing all those type of things. So I feel like how I'm gonna, get mine and do those type of things is by doing those things.
What do you think is the difference between the Canadian style of basketball and the American style?
Well, I feel like it's changed in like the last couple of years. Cause like even when I was like last year I was at OTE, I feel like, a whole bunch of them are really big, strong. I would say like certain people here, like the skill level is kind of the same. I just feel like it's just they're really big. They're a lot bigger, stronger. But I feel like there's a whole bunch of Canadian teams that can go down to like America and just cause problems. So,
Like yourself?
yeah.
If you were to build a perfect player, let's start on offense. You could pick a player from the NBA, college, or even in your own current league. In terms of offense, who would you pick? But
Kyrie Irving.
For offense? Okay. For assists.
Hey, Kyrie at his height.
His mental.
Oh, slip.
Crazy.
Michael Jordan said if Iverson was 6'6", we'd all have problems.
Yeah. But I like that. Actually, Kyrie's in my top 10. Funny enough, when I think I went to a game, Makaj, remember the game with Dallas? Luka, Kyrie.
Yes.
Right. And Kyrie, once again, multi-millionaire. But he stays behind the game.
Right.
And he interacts with the fans. Right? I love that about him, and I see that with you. That's what I was talking about, the whole, if he was making billions and whatnot, his character wouldn't change. So we got offense, Kyrie, assists.
Maybe John Stockton or Jason Williams.
Okay, I have J Kidd.
I'm impressed.
You're impressed?
I'm impressed,
Very
man.
vintage.
Yeah.
I like it.
Defense?
Vintage season.
Damn.
Gary Payton.
Who?
Gary Payton.
Okay.
Glove. Okay.
Oh, you know what? I should have said shot blocker, but I get it. Yeah, defense. Yeah, Gary Payton. Yeah,
So what do you think about Tony Allen?
I was going to say that. Or even, no, not Lance Stevenson. Yeah,
Actually, wait, I might be mixing them up. Actually.
Tony Allen?
Yeah, I think it might be Tony Allen.
Memphis?
Yeah,
it might be him.
Okay. So we got offense.
He was the one who was like first team all defense.
First team. Yeah, it's Tony Allen.
Okay. Athleticism.
Probably MJ.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Over Vince?
Yes.
Sheer athleticism.
Yeah, I would still go MJ.
Okay.
Yeah, I would go MJ.
Because he's like sort of
and
like
he still has the highest vertical.
He's like the blueprint.
Yeah, he still has the highest vertical.
Yeah, over Vince.
Yeah. In the
combine.
combine.
Something. Okay, but yeah, athleticism. Okay.
Shot blocking.
Dikembe.
No.
Nice, yeah. Dikembe over Shaq?
Yes.
Okay. I like that.
Shaq was more offense.
Shaq is a good guy, actually.
Shaq was a force, man.
No, like 60 points, all twos. That's crazy. On his birthday.
Speaking of, well, I guess we've kind of answered the question, but 3-5 years from now, where do we see Efeosa? And
Definitely in the league.
Yeah?
Yeah, definitely in the league. Making good money.
I respect that. I respect that.
That's like, you know what? I was talking to Makaj about it, and I think I asked her, apart from me knowing that he's going to make the league, but what is it about him that assures that he is going to make the league? And interesting enough, she said basically he has to because he's doing it for his mom.
Yeah, like there's no other
Right?
way.
There's no, it's no bus or maybe.
Hearing and understanding your story,
Right.
like there's no second option. There's no
Right.
Also,
plan
like
B.
the thing that like for him, like he can't fail and he won't fail because when your character's definitely unmatched, that's one, and two, you're coachable. Like you're willing to be coached,
and you have all the physical attributes.
I noticed something like this stood out to me that Don Stanley says. Like, if a kid isn't coachable, they're not going to make it. If the kid doesn't have the character, they're not going to make it. If the kid doesn't already like have the drive and the dedication, they're definitely not going to make it. And to be honest, you have all three. There's really no reason why you should not make that draft. Because I'll be waiting in front of my TV saying,
TV better be in New York. Like, yeah.
He's going to be all dapper and very humble, very demure, very mindful. You already know what it is, so I definitely think.
And I know throughout this whole interview we've been shelling high praises, but it's just who you are. And it's well deserved. It's not because it's your birthday or whatnot. It's
Happy birthday again.
Once again, happy birthday. But it's what I see. Like it's like I don't have any bad things to say about you. I've been around the circuit to know that you know what, I'm not even gonna mess with that guy, or you know what, forget that
our
guy.
group chat goes.
Real talk.
Yeah.
You know, so it's once again it's definitely well deserved. How does our audience find you?
Snapchat is just why so Hollywood.
Okay. I like that.
Hollywood.
I like that.
I have one question for you. Before you like part away from your fans and all these viewers, for someone who's very quiet and very humble, what do you have to say to fellow upcoming ballers, other ballers that look up to you? How can they embody the Efeosa mentality or the EO mentality?
It's a very good question.
That's a good question, McCall.
I guess I'll just kind of say be consistent whatever you're doing. Have like a good circle around you, people who care about you and who are going to, I guess, pour into you what you also pour. So there's always that. And then after, once again, like being humble, it's a good thing. Like people like to see the clips of people being cocky and all those things. But I just feel like, just focus on what you have to do. Like obviously there's going to be heats in the moment where, you're feeling it or whatever it is. But I just feel like, definitely just do what you have to do. Be focused on that. And I feel like you'll get to where you need to get to.
Efeosa.
What a pleasure.
It's an honor.
Thank you.
Especially on your birthday, sir.
Yeah. Thanks,
I
sir.
ain't even
Taking the
gonna call
time
you.
out of your
No more Efeosa. No,
your day.
for me it's Efeosa.
Efeosa.
Right now, Efeosa. Every time I see you,
Efeosa.
that's your new name. Versus TV 24. We got V-Dub, we got Makaj, LJ, Efeosa, myself, Pimo. This was a special one. Happy birthday.
On your birthday. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
it, man.
Thank you.
And we're out.
We're out.